Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today because I've got some really important information for you, especially if you rely on benefits, pensions, or government support. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any updates about money, budgeting, and the latest financial tips. Now, I know many of you have been waiting for the details on when your payments will arrive in March 2025, so let's get straight into it. It's always good to know when you'll be getting your payments, so you can plan your budget for the month ahead and avoid any unnecessary stress. Understanding your DWP payment schedule can really help you stay ahead of things, whether it's paying bills or planning for everyday expenses. So, let's talk about the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, what benefits are included in the payment schedule, and how you can keep track of everything. If you're someone who's relying on universal credit, state pension, disability benefits, or any other form of support, then knowing the exact dates your payments will land is crucial to keeping everything running smoothly. We know how important it is to get your money on time, so I'm here to give you the latest confirmed payment dates for March 2025. Let's get into it. The DWP handles a wide range of benefits that millions of people depend on to make ends meet. The payment dates for these benefits can sometimes be a little tricky to keep track of, especially when they fall on weekends or public holidays. That's why it's important to stay informed, so you're not left wondering when you'll receive your next payment. In March 2025, you can expect payments to be made on specific dates, but there are a few things to keep in mind. If a payment date falls on a weekend, the DWP usually makes the payment a little earlier. This helps ensure that you don't have to wait too long for your funds. The same goes for public holidays. If your payment is due on a bank holiday, the DWP generally moves it to the nearest weekday. This is a great thing to keep in mind when you're planning your budget for the month. For example, universal credit and state pension payments could land on slightly different days if they coincide with weekends or holidays, so it's always worth checking with the DWP to confirm your specific payment dates. But don't worry, I've got you covered with all the confirmed dates you need to know for March 2025. Let's start with one of the most important benefits, universal credit. For many people, universal credit is a lifeline, and knowing when the payment will arrive is key to keeping everything in order. Universal credit payments are generally made once a month, and they depend on your specific assessment period. If your assessment period starts on the first day of the month, then you'll typically get paid around the same date each month, which makes it easier to plan. But remember, your payment could be slightly different in terms of timing depending on weekends or public holidays. In March 2025, universal credit payments will likely arrive around the 25th of the month. However, if that falls on a weekend or a holiday, expect the payment to be made earlier. For instance, if the 25th lands on a Saturday, your payment could come in a day earlier, on Friday the 24th. This can be super helpful to know when you're managing your monthly expenses. If you're someone who receives universal credit, make sure you keep an eye on your account in the days leading up to the 25th to see if the payment comes early. Moving on to state pension, this is another essential benefit that many people rely on, especially those who have worked hard throughout their lives and now depend on their pension to cover daily living expenses. The state pension is typically paid once a week or once every 4 weeks, depending on your specific payment arrangement. If you receive your state pension on a weekly basis, then you'll likely see your payment come in around the same time each week. But if you're paid monthly, as most pensioners are, then the confirmed payment date for March 2025 is March 6th. If you happen to receive your state pension on a Friday, it's important to note that this could be brought forward if it falls on a weekend. So if March 6th happens to fall on a Saturday, your payment will most likely arrive on Friday, March 7th. This flexibility from the DWP ensures that you don't have to wait too long for your funds, even if the usual date falls on a non-working day. If you receive your state pension, make sure to check your bank account on the date it's due or the day before if it's a weekend to make sure the payment has been made. Staying on top of these dates can help you avoid any delays or confusion about when your money will be available. Disability benefits are another important category to consider, especially for people who depend on these funds for healthcare, mobility, or everyday living. Payments for disability benefits like Personal Independence Payment, PIP, Disability Living Allowance, DLA, and Attendance Allowance are made on a regular schedule, so it's easy to keep track of when they'll arrive. These benefits are typically paid either every 4 weeks or on a specific day of the week, depending on the exact benefit you're receiving. For example, if you receive Personal Independence Payment, PIP, your payment for March 2025 is expected to land on March 3 road, which is the start of the month. If you're getting Disability Living Allowance, DLA, your payment will likely arrive on March 10th. And for those who are receiving Attendance Allowance, your payment is confirmed for March 12th. If any of these payments fall on weekends or bank holidays, expect the DWP to process them earlier in the week, typically on the Friday before. So, for example, if March 3 road happens to fall on a Saturday, your PIP payment could come in on Friday, March 2 ND. The same goes for DLA and Attendance Allowance. Check your account in the days leading up to the confirmed payment date to see if you'll get your money earlier than expected. Another key benefit that many of you might be receiving is Carer's Allowance. If you are a carer who's been looking after someone for at least 35 hours a week, you could be entitled to Carer's Allowance, which is usually paid once a week. The confirmed payment for Carer's Allowance in March 2025 is set for March 13th. As with other benefits, keep in mind that if this payment falls on a weekend, it could be brought forward by a day or two. This is why it's always a good idea to check the exact dates, especially if you're managing a tight budget. If you're a carer and rely on this allowance, knowing when to expect your payment can help you plan your finances for the rest of the month. One more benefit that people frequently rely on is housing benefit. Housing benefit is typically paid by local councils, and the exact payment dates can vary depending on where you live. However, most people can expect their housing benefit to be paid either monthly or every 4 weeks. For those of you who receive housing benefit in March 2025, you should generally expect payments to be made between the 1st and 70th of the month, depending on your specific circumstances. But remember, these dates can vary, so make sure to check with your local council for the exact payment date, especially if you rely on this benefit to cover rent or housing costs. It's important to stay organized when you're managing multiple benefits. And while March 2025 seems far off, it's never too early to start planning for your payment schedule. Having a clear idea of when to expect your funds can make a huge difference in your ability to budget and pay for the things that matter most. One thing to keep in mind is that sometimes there are delays or issues that might prevent a payment from being made on time. If that happens, don't panic. The first step is to check your DWP online account to see if there's any information about changes or delays. If you still don't see the payment in your account, contact the DWP customer service team. They are usually very helpful in resolving any payment issues, and they can give you an exact timeline of when you can expect to receive your money. Finally, let's talk about how you can make managing these payments even easier. One simple tip is to set up a reminder system for yourself. Use your phone's calendar or any other reminder app to alert you when your payments are due. This can help ensure you don't miss a payment or accidentally forget about important dates. Another tip is to keep track of your spending each month. You can use a budgeting app to log your expenses, and by keeping track of what's coming in and going out, you'll have a better idea of how much money you'll have available. If you haven't already, it's also a good idea to have a backup account for emergencies, so that if your payments do get delayed or you run into unexpected expenses, you'll have a cushion to fall back on. That's it for today's update on the DWP payment schedule for March 2025. I hope this helps you stay ahead of your finances and gives you peace of mind as you plan for the month ahead. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more updates on your benefits, pensions, and everything else related to managing your money. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you've experienced any issues with your payments in the past. I love hearing from you, and your feedback helps me create better content that serves you better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.